Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to nail the perfect exposure with your Runcam Thumb Pro, and also with this tip I'll also show you how to use the ND filters and how and when to use your ND filters. And to do this, I'll be showing you how to preview the footage on your Runcam Thumb Pro before you actually go and fly. Before I show you how to preview the footage on your Runcam Thumb Pro, let me show you one thing that you must always do when using your Runcam Thumb Pro. So in the Runcam app, I go to QR configuration and we have our resolution. Resolution 1080p 60. Whatever your frame rate is, your shutter speed must always be double that. So I'm at 60 frames per second shutter speed, frame rate. My shutter speed is going to be double that at 120. If I was shooting, let's say 4K 30, my shutter speed will be 1/60. But let's keep that at 60 frames per second, shutter speed 120. Color style flats. For now, well, it's super duper bright. See the highlights on my shirt here? I'm actually using an ND filter. This is how much brighter it will be. So let me just turn that down. So ISO sensitivity 100. Now another thing you must always do is keep your white balance at sunny. You don't want it at cloudy or anything else regardless of the lighting conditions, because the colors just don't look right, you know? So we keep the white balance at sunny and I'm gonna hit apply. Okay. Alright, so my Runcam Thumb Pro has power. So I'm gonna double tap to put this into the mode to accept the settings. Boom. Okay, so now we have our settings locked in. And to preview the footage now, you go into the brightest part of your scene, which is outside. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to tap record. Just give us a quick look around in the brightest part of your scene and stop it. Now you're out in the field. How do you preview your footage? You need one of these. This is an OTG cable or on-the-go cable. One side of the cable plugs into an Android phone, whether it's USB Type-C or USB Micro B, and the other side is a female USB port, USB-A port, which you plug your cable, your USB cable, into the Runcam Thumb Pro. I'm not sure if iPhones have an equivalent to an on-the-go cable, but this is the only way you can, I know at the moment, you can preview your footage. So you disconnect the power from your Runcam Thumb Pro, however you have your power hooked up, and you plug in your USB cable. One side of the cable is plugged in here. You get this out of the sun. The other side I'm going to plug into my phone. Okay, I see an icon up here. USB storage added. Alright, we go into that. Scroll all the way down. I'm going to tap record. Just give us a quick look around in the brightest part of your scene. And yes, and that was it. And to be perfectly honest, tap record. This is not as bright as I had expected it to be. I had really expected it to be like super duper overblown, but I guess the 120th shutter speed worked for me. Now let's say you were shooting, alright, let me go back here. Let's say you were shooting in 4K 30 frames per second. Your frame rate would have been 1/60th of a second. That is slower. Or let's say you were shooting 4K 25 frames per second. Your shutter speed would have been 1/50th of a second. Now, if you had used this method to preview your footage, which is basically record your footage, then look at it from your iPhone, from your smartphone, and you see that it's too overexposed, then you use your ND filters. Wow, it's way too bright for you guys to see this. Trust me, it's here. To attach your ND filters, let's focus on here. You rotate the front element or rotate the lens towards the camera. You might want to actually hold the camera. So, okay, could you stop looking at me and look at this? So when you rotate, okay, rotate away. Okay, you rotate away. So you rotate away from the camera instead of rotating towards. And then with your ND filter, you put it in, then you rotate towards the camera to lock it. But since I don't have to use my ND filters, that's fine. So let me go on fly. One thing I forgot to do was adjust my angle, my up tilt. Okay, and here I thought I would have been confident enough to actually fly around the yard. But no, absolutely not. It's way too windy and this drone is a little bit faster than I expected. Okay, wow, that was a thing. A lot windier than I expected, so let's check out that footage. And check out that footage I did. Let me just open up my screen so I can see myself. There we go. Yeah, so I'm looking at the footage and it turns out I really did need the ND filter. So I don't think any point of your sky is supposed to be pure white when you're shooting with your camera. Well, any camera. So if that happens, your stuff is overblown. Your highlights are like clipping. So you see this footage here? Let me do that. Yeah. Lower my ISO because boom. See that? That is not supposed to happen. So I definitely should have used an ND filter. Since this is still in post technically, why not just go back out and shoot more footage with the ND filter this time? It is still ridiculously bright and you'll see. Alright, here we are back again. We're going to do a second take of the shoot. This time I know for sure I'll need to use the ND filters. It's the second day. I'm still wearing the same shirt because, okay, don't ask why I'm wearing the same shirt, but I'm wearing the same shirt and it is still just as bright. Like I'm looking at the leaves from inside and they do look overexposed, but the sky, definitely going to make sure this time that the sky is proper. So this is without the ND filter. Looking at the sky, looking at the camera, looking over here, looking back at the sky, and stop. Yes. Okay, so definitely bright. I'm going to be using the ND8 first. Okay, that's the ND16, ND32. Where is my ND8? Oh, here it is. ND8. Oh, you can't see this. You can't see this. Trust me. Trust me, it's the ND8. Trust me, it's the ND8. Let me see. Maybe I can bring you closer. There you go. Do you see that? ND8. And you guys did not believe me. ND8 is on. Look at this. all under here is like super dark. The sky is perfectly exposed, but everything else is not. So, well, let's do a flight with the ND filter and you'll see. But I think you have to pick your poison with this. It's either your sky is perfectly exposed and everything else, your subjects potentially are underexposed, or you under or you overexpose your sky and have your subjects perfectly exposed. This is ridiculous. Wow. Look how much of a difference the ND filter makes. I can see every single detail in the sky, but I can't see the ground or anything else. Alright, let's fly. I have adjusted my camera angle to a more neutral angle. So hopefully I can fly slower and have more control. Okay, wow, hitting gaps already? Okay, okay, I'll take it. Definitely hit that gap. Didn't expect to, but I did. Alright. I got a leaf on me. Okay. Alright, so that footage was very, very dark. Yeah, the sky was perfectly exposed, but the ground was not, and my white balance even shifted. Like the white that is right above me, let me just show you guys. The white that was right above me started to have a yucky bluish tint to it, and the footage kind of looked over sharpened, but the clouds in the background looked really nice. The clouds looked nice, but everything looked kind of So I'm wondering, could I leave the ND filter on and shoot in auto ISO? The ND filter only works when I'm shooting towards the sun and the sky beautifully exposed, but everything else is like cruelly dark. But if I turn around, everything is like super dark. So would an auto ISO work for this situation? Let's test it. Okay, so let's hop into the Runcam Thumb Pro app, QR configuration, ISO sensitivity. I'll leave that at auto. Apply. Okay. So I've just realized that the ND filter might be too dark to accept the settings on the Runcam Thumb Pro. So I just pop that off. Boom. Yeah. So you have to remove your ND filter to change your settings. Now my settings are 1080p 60, shutter speed 120, ISO sensitivity auto, color style flat, and the white balance is at sunny. Recording, let's pour on my transmitter, then pour on my drone. Alright, now to fly with auto ISO. I'm just going to go to the back, then come back to the front. Hopefully I'll stay high enough not to ingest any leaves. And I have balanced out my drone properly, so I wouldn't keep wanting to roll to the right. Okay, still wanting to roll to the right a bit. Hello. Shoot the gap again. There we go. Oh, breeze picked up. I don't think you can feel it back here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here we're coming back. Nice and slow. Alright, now to practice turtle mode.
Coupler mode enabled.
Whoa.
Armed. Angle mode.
Yeah, and so I'm pitched up into the sky. If I give it throttle, I might just fall off of this awning and into the gutter. So let me just go and get it by hand. Alright, see, that's it right up there. Ooh. Whoa. Yes, so good call on my part, because if I had given it power, I would have went up over the fence and probably into the gutter or power lines. So let me just grab you really quickly. All right, we're still recording, so stop the recording. All right, so I just previewed the footage where the Runcam Thumb Pro has the ND8 filter on it and the ISO sensitivity was set to auto. And you know what? I'm actually digging it. I actually like how the footage looks. When I'm in the bright places, everything else is perfectly exposed and the sky is exposed at the same time. Also, in the dark areas, well, not really dark areas, but not in direct sunlight, the footage actually does look good too. My white balance has not shifted drastically because I have suddenly chopped my available light. And this technique, I believe in this technique, ND filter and auto ISO. Now you could also put on your ND filter and raise your ISO to whatever to make it comfortable, but you would have to have your ISO set for the highlights, the brightest part of your area, which was practically where the flight starts, and you have to also have your ISO set for the darkest parts of the area, which is in the bush. Practically, that was where I was flying, under a tree. So auto ISO, the best way to go with the ND filters. Now you can play around with this on your own, but this is, I like how this works. I also noticed that you have to remove your ND filter to change your settings on your phone. So that's something to be aware of. Alright, if you guys have any more questions about using the Runcam Thumb Pro, previewing the footage, well, you don't really have any questions about that, but just in case you do, leave them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.